I've recently done some debugging, and I have learned that if something isn't plugged in, it doesn't work very well. Really good. Really good. We're going to be playing today, kicking things off with a list from Oppo, who posted this extraordinarily detailed write-up on /r/spikes, which is a good resource for competitive Magic players who are just interested in conversation and dialogue around it. I'm going to talk about this list in a moment, but what I foist wanted to do was say that tomorrow, Noxious and I will be collaborating to do a 3-hour pre-release event about Amonkhet Remastered. Wizards of the Coast is doing what they're calling set remastering. And what a set remaster is taking some previous sets, not just one, but sometimes more than one, and kind of getting the core essence of it, the best of the best in terms of the cards, the important characters, the lore, making sure the drafting experience is perfected, this sort of thing, and releasing some old sets. So Amonkhet Remastered has cards from both Amonkhet and Hours of Devastation, with a sort of custom created sealed and limited format for it. And what we're going to be doing tomorrow is we're going to be talking about what the remaster set is. We're going to be playing sealed against each other, so we'll open up and play some sealed. We're going to be doing a top 10 jank card review, looking at some of the best jank tools that will be in Amonkhet. We will then be playing a What the Deck style battle of the Amonkhet-focused jank cards. And then we'll be closing out with drafting and playing our draft decks against each other. I'm really excited for this. Then on Thursday, we're going to do Baba Is You again. I'm still interested in 100%ing that one, because that's a fun-ass game. And last but not least, I'm not streaming Friday or all next week because I am fried. I am absolutely fry-erodied. I'm exhausted. We'll talk about the exhaustion later. But I want to talk about this list because I think it's incredibly clever. This is... It kind of looks a little bit like some of the Izzet Flash stuff of yore. Old Izzet Flash decks used Spectral Sailors, Brineborn Cutthroats that used Bone Crusher Giants and a bunch of Brazen Borrowers to counter, delay, deny, and then suddenly burst forward with a bunch of damage, kind of abruptly. This deck has a bit of that look and feel to it. However, it's more focused on the burst and tempo plays and much less focused on the counter magic and whatnot. So let's look at the core of the deck in terms of just the good old-fashioned damage. Actually, I'll do Dreadhorde Arcanist last. We have Sprite Dragon, 2-mana flying haste that can grow with spells. 3/3 Flying Prowess. This spell costs 3 mana less to cast if you've cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn. So, for instance, if I cast a 1-mana thing like an Opt, I can spend 2 mana to cast a Stormwing entity. Again, a nice high-damage flyer. And it's prowess, too. And I will then look at this last enabler, Dreadhorde Arcanist, the 1/3 for 2 Trampler, that when it swings, you can cast 1-mana things from the graveyard. And what 1-mana things might those be? Opts. Crash Throughs, creature you control gain trample, and you draw a card. Shocks for damage, 3 unsummons to bounce something. We also have, due to the existence of a lot of flyers in our deck, 4 Lofty Denials, which is a cheap, all-round answer. Most counterspells are 3. I should say most counterspells that hit all things are 3. Think of something like an Absorb, something like a Ionize. We like 2-mana things, 2-mana counterspells, something like Quench, but Quench really loses oomph because Quench is easy to pay the 2 colorless cost for. But Lofty Denial is really nice because once you get some flyers out, they have to pay 4. So it's very easy to have this just be super hard counter. As a little bit of tech choices, we have a pair of Brazen Borrowers and a pair of Sea Dasher Octopi. Some of these tempo style lists would often run Spectral Sailors as the core card draw. But Spectral Sailors are a little better suited to a deck that is fully flash-based, because I leave up my counter magic, and if you don't cast a spell, I have mana open to draw a card. So Spectral Sailor is a much more slight card draw engine. Sea Dasher Octopus is a much more straightforward one. Maybe you cast a turn 1 Pteramander, and then turn 2 swing in and Sea Dash Octopus to just draw cards. Finally, the Royal Scion does a number of really nice things. First of all, draw and discard gives us the ability to put more spells into the graveyard to activate with the Dreadhorde Arcanist. We could, for instance, turn 2 play a Dreadhorde Arcanist, and let's say we didn't have available mana turn 1 because we played a Temple of Epiphany. Temple of Epiphany turn 1, Dreadhorde Arcanist turn 2, and then Royal Scions, we play turn 3 to draw and discard a shock, and then when we swing with the Dreadhorde Arcanist, we can kill whatever's there blocking. It's a much more damage-focused, burst-focused deck, much less of a flash control style list. The sort of Izzet flashy decks previously were very counter-focused, very like wait, see what the opponent does, do stuff on their turn. This is, swing in with the crew and cheat out big shit and cheat out spells very quickly. I think it's very, very clever. And I have Oppo's sideboarding guide right next to me. But I think that there's some interesting ones to look at. Flame Sweep just annihilates the shit out of a lot of mono-red style decks. We have Whirlwind Denial, which is a card that I get asked about all the time, and I'm not really a fan of it because I think it sucks overall, but this deck does run 2 of them to deal with things like Hydroid Krasis against Sultai. We have Narset in the Uro matchups to prevent drawing, things like this. This list was trying to run Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, but the constructor of the list, Oppo, suggested just running 3 Scorching Dragonfires, as often you don't have enough instants and sorceries in the grave to make this necessary. Some negates. A pair of negates just looks like an unbelievably common thing to include. If you're blue at all in this meta, there's just a lot of very expensive spells and planeswalkers. But I think one of my favorite sideboard additions here is the Miscast. Why not Mystic Dispute? Well, because Miscast hits a ton of those sweeper and removal spells that are in black and green and Sultai specifically. I think this is really clever. If you have 1 mana open and your opponent casts the Casualties of War, Mystic Dispute would not hit that. Miscast does. I'm not going to make any changes to this list yet. I'm just going to fire it off and have some fun in best of 3 and learn a little bit, and then we can make adjustments along the way. So I'm going to be pretty thoughtful about planning out my turns here. And I think what I want to do is actually try to crash through here so I can Dreadhorde Arcanist and crash through. Okay. Change of plans. Because I forgot to cast this in particular. I just passed right on through it. Do I want to save the Lofty Denial to pick their turn 2 play? I think I do. We have the ability to go Stormwing Entity on turn 3 if we draw an untapped source. Nothing at all. Okay. So the read I'm putting on Mithridates is that my opponent is on some kind of... Cool. My opponent is on some kind of Azorius Flyers list. I think that what will be coming next is the 3 mana dude. What is going on here? I guess I'm going to do this and still leave up Lofty Denial. The Arrow 1. Good to see you, man. Says, hey, Sean, been watching a lot of streams lately? No. And I keep coming back for this amazing community and your amazing vibe. For whatever reason, people seem to engage in such an abusive relationship with each other on this platform, and it's nice to come here and feel at peace. Thank you. Man, I'm delighted to hear that. And yeah, everything you just said is so fucking true, man. It's so true. Let's see if we can get them all. My opponent does look like they're leaving up Lofty Denials. It's A-okay by me, my friend. Let's go ahead and scry. Opt or unsummon, huh? Do I maybe want both? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the opt. Yeah, I'll cast this. We get to deal a lot of damage next turn. A lot of damage. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of streamers just... what? No? I'll take the damage. A lot of streamers just have... I don't even know how else to describe it, but it's like a torture chamber. Like, I'm just like, oh man, you guys. I'm also going to opt here. Crash through is fine. I'm going to crash through again. Oh yeah. Oh, that feels real nice. Oh, that is a real nice feeling. I think I want to do this. Alright, so then let's swing. Crash through right now because I obviously just want to get the Stormwind entity. Whew. Wow, that is power right there. That is real power. No, no. Holy cow. I mean, are you seeing this shit? Wow. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's like... I think it's easy to kind of fall into the trap of, you know, the negative dunk-focused type streamy thing. Like I play Dark Souls, and I see a lot of people are laughing and jeering and having fun, seeing me have a tough time. Bam, bam. And a lot of times, if you're suffering, people do like it. And what's going to happen here? That's fine. Let's see. So we should be able to get up there if we just get one more card that... Ah, damn. Let's go on the Dreadhorde Arcanist for the 2 damage. See, if we just had one more spell that we could have gotten, that would have been helpful. We can always draw a shock here. Lyris, I took your advice and tried to be a bit more genuine when I'm in chat. I remember Pleasant Kenobi was trying Warhammer content. I really enjoyed it, so I told him exactly that, and it really seemed to lift him up. It really does. When someone just comes in and is like, I really love this, this is great, I enjoy it. But for whatever reason, there's like a sort of cultural, that's not okay type attitude that, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of. Flame Sweep is obviously going to be good here. Scorching Dragonfire is obviously going to be good here. Miscast is not necessarily going to be good here. What do I think about Lofty Denial? Let's see. This doesn't seem very useful at all. Seems right. Yeah, there's something that just feels very like, I don't know, taboo about just being like, I really enjoy this and this is really great. It's easy, it's socially easier to dump on things. You know what I mean? Waves on Mars is with as many knights as there are. I'm always impressed with the chat. Always has meaningful conversations and isn't just emote spam. I love all you guys. Dude, it's so true. This is the most emote spam-free locale. It's just wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and play Terry here. Nothing at all. Also, really nice selection of land cards. Really nice selection of land cards. You love to see that. Watcher of the Spires. You know, I gotta take this out. I have to take it out because Watcher of the Spires decreases the cost of my opponent's flyers, which means if I pass the turn, then Villain could have the ability to cast 2 or 3 things in a turn, and I don't actually have the capability of dealing with that. I should have opted at end of turn. Whoopsie daisies. I for some reason was like, yeah, I'll just do it all on this turn. Okay, well, I'm gonna just chill then. Gosh, I keep missing these end of turn 1-mana spells. I just think because I'm absolutely, utterly freaking fried. You know what, Leo, I really want to talk more about this, you know, the concerns I have of people being a bit jerkish. I really want to talk about that more, but I'm tired and unfocused, and I'm interested in playing this game right now and talking about this. And sometimes I could do that all at once. Can't do it today. For I am a sleepy boy. Nothing at all, huh? Dreadhorde Arcanist, I think, is actually a really good one to get. We're going to keep up Lofty Denial again. Spectral Sailor, huh? I think I just keep denying the resources. Villain makey a mistakey. Great, this is perfect. Who gives a shit about glass? Still fun to say. Dryroxim says, why do you run Terry over Sailor? I presume you just arrived, Dryroxium. I presume you just did. I'm going to swing like this first, in case this is a 1-mana flash creature. Nice. Because we talked a little bit about this earlier, and I'm just going to make a statement. I think It is so important if you are streaming to understand that you are going to get asked a lot of the same questions all the time. You must accept that. You must accept that. Blazing Boo. We can opt Flame Sweep and kill it, which is very, very tight. Which is the tightest. Let's scry first. But yeah, the answer, Darth Diroxium, is that we are more interested in beating people with good, damaging, bursty, impactful things. As opposed to doing the more traditional... By the way, the counter gets put on before the Flame Sweep resolves, which is what makes it a good play. And I do have a shock in here. Perfect. This deck is filthy. Yeah, we're interested in just smashing people. The Spectral Sailor is good because we can flash it in at end of turn. However, when does Spectral Sailor really feel super duper good? When does that actually feel awesome? So, I just want to Flame Sweep here, I think is the maneuver, right? Perfect. And I can't do that, right? We could have also bounced that, but I feel like we'd be sort of in the same spot. This is dirty. Yeah, like Spectral Sailor feels good if I'm in a slightly slower deck that runs counters, because Diroxium, I can, like, say, alright, I will play my counterspell. Oh, my opponent didn't cast a counterspell. Perfect. I will then just draw a card. I'm going to go for the full blowout. J. Ryan Taylor says, doesn't Terramander have anti-synergy with Dreadhorde Arcanist, considering you exile the sorcery instance? How do I want to answer this? The short answer is almost always no. It does not have an anti-synergy. And here's the reasoning. This is a deck where we have lots of cheap spells that we cast. Who are what or cards that benefit from having lots of cheap spells either cast or put into the graveyard. Let's just consider the put into the graveyard. Dreadhorde Arcanist benefits from things being in the graveyard. Terramander benefits from things being put in the graveyard. And therefore, if we're doing a lot of graveyard filling stuff, we want lots of ways to benefit from that. So probably the more appropriate statement is, if we just ran Dreadhorde Arcanist, we might not be getting enough value out of all of our cheap instants and sorceries in the graveyard. So we want to make sure that we can do that. And again, it's kind of the same logic that we were talking about with having lots of escape creatures before. It's very easy to say, I don't want too many escape creatures, because then they'll delete each other. You know, like if I have an Uro and a Polakranos in my deck, I'm having to exile 6, I'm having to exile 5. Oh my gosh. If the problem comes that we keep having Uro and Polakranos devour each other, the issue is not that we're running too many escape creatures. The issue is that we're not putting enough stuff in the bin. If we ever wound up in the situation where we felt like Dreadhorde Arcanist was eating too many things in the bin and we were unable to activate Terry, the problem is that we're not putting enough small stuff in the bin. That's the problem. And I think that this question you asked, Jay Rhyme, taps into, I think, an important, consistent topic that arises in card games, which is that there is the blunt synergy of, if I do have this card and this card, they synergize. And if I only have one or the other, I don't have that synergy. It's very binary. But in Magic, there starts to be a number, right? Like, do I want 4 pairs of cards that have the synergy? Or 6? Or 8? You know, just like we say, 6 discard effects feel about good here. 8 is too many. 4 is too few. 6 is about right. It's very similar to what's going on with this deck, where we're going, okay, how much is too many? How much is too few? So I think that if we had, say, Dreadhorde Arcanist as a thing that ate things in the graveyard, and then we had another 12 cards that devoured things in the graveyard, then I think we would be getting a little closer to that extreme where we'd go, I don't know, man. Feels like a little bit too much. So I would say that in the future, Jay Ryan, if you are looking at a list where it feels like you have Dreadhorde Arcanist that does something very obvious. Hold on, let me think for a quick moment. I should play this. In the future, if you're looking and you're going, man, how do I... You know, it seems like there's, say, a lot of copies of thing X, and they're stepping on each other's toes. Maybe I want less of X. Often, the reason they're stepping on each other's toes a little bit is that the deck builder is trying to maximize some concept. I know what we're up against. I'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, so like, if you have a lot of discard effects, and sometimes you just have, it feels like you've over-discarded. It seems like you draw a card to make the opponent discard, and they don't have any cards, and it feels like a little too much. Decks, you want to be like right on that line where you can discard really, really often for your opponent, but sometimes you just have too many discard effects. Fuck. In this deck, you want to have, like, just enough cards that take advantage of mini-baby spells in the graveyard. You want to have just enough. I think I will go for the Lofty Denial. And the Unsummon looks great. You want to have just enough, but sometimes it's a little bit too much. J. Ryan, this is a perfect example. J. Ryan brings up Ashiok Dreamrender and Drown in the Loch. Yes, Ashiok Dreamrender says exile all cards from the opponent's graveyard. Drown in the Loch says counter target spell. I can just do this. Counter target spell whose converted mana cost is equal to or less than the number of cards in the opponent's graveyard. So if they have 8 cards in the graveyard, you can counter something that costs up to 8. Absolutely fine. Don't even mind. Our villain's deck is basically the same as our deck. Basically the same as our deck. Yeah, so if you had Ashiok Dreamrender and you cast it and immediately deleted every single thing that your opponent had. If you immediately deleted every single thing that your opponent had in their graveyard, you would have deleted the use of Drown in the Loch for a long time. And that's like a true Nambo. That's like a true, like, anti-synergy pain thing. Scrying 2. I think I need to draw and discard stuff here.
What is my strategy here?
What is my strategy here? I don't think I even play the Steam Vents. I don't think I even want to. Maybe it's actually okay to do it just this once. So look at that comprehensive answer I've given, J. Ryan Taylor. That was a good answer. I'm happy with that answer. It all came from your question. You love to see it. You love to see it. Oh, shit. Oh, no! Oh, my cords! Oh, my God. Oh, there's cords everywhere. It's a disaster. Are you in here, Sheriff? Sheriff? Where'd my little brown buddy go? Baby girl. Oh, no.
Back to training? Aye.
All right, how are we losing now? Something got sprinted. All right. All right, so let's draw a card and discard a card.
My plan is crystallizing.
This sucks. Green pants, always. My real pants. All right, we lost. My real pants still fit mostly. Like I thought that they would be way too large, but they fucking fit. Okay. Let me think. Let's go ahead and get to our sideboarding guide and see. I don't think it has any advice for the mirror. But what do I think would make sense here? I kind of think do I want the Lofty now? I think Royal Scions feels probably pretty bad. Scorching Dragon Fjord seems nice. Seems very nice. Narset? Why would we include Narset? Yeah, Russ Paul, let me come back to that question in a moment. I wanna really stew. I really want to stew. Let me think. I'm really not sure what to do here. It feels like the miscasts could be nice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Russ Paul, I've just been fucking tired, man. Yeah, I elected to not put in... This is good. I elected to not put in Narset because she's 3 mana, dude. Gross. She's 3 mana. Ugh. Well, I have plenty of those. 3 mana is like a shitload. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, since once opponent boards in their Narset, we'll see why it's so good. I kind of doubt that will be true. Do I want to flash in the Sea Dasher? I think maybe I do. I think that's the play. That's not good. The reason I think it's not true is we want cheap spells to command control of the board. So if I am erring on the cheap side and my opponent's erring on the Narset side, on average, my opponent will be able to cast Narset, but only on a board where our opponent is behind. And actually, fundamentally, if I play... Okay, that's a very pricey one. Okay, nice. I don't think I want to do anything at all, huh? Narset is a card that does nothing on the turn that it is played. It gets you a new card in hand, but it doesn't do anything on the board. And so often if our opponent... For instance, if our opponent played a Narset right now... Perfect. I'm very, very happy to see that. If our opponent played a Narset right now, for instance, I would be able to flash in the Sea Dasher Octopus and then the following turn play the Sprite Dragon and kill it, and our opponent would have drawn 1. Which is fine. Kind of need a bounce effect, but that's okay. That just sucks. Surprised you didn't counter the riddle. I could not have countered the riddle form. Counter target spell unless the controller pays 1, and our opponent had 1 right there. Which sucks ass and is bullshit. Which is fucking horse malarkey. Kingworth says, reading hard. Dude, Kingworth, I'm on Team Kingworth here, man. There's a lot of shit to track in this game. There's like a million billion thousand cards that fucking exist. I'm gonna counter even though it sucks. I'm not looking long for this world. But yeah, man, there's literally so much shit to track in this damn game. There is so much stuff to track in this damn ass game that, like, you know, what are we really gonna put our hands on our hips and be like, you missed one thing? I mean, come on. Yeah, no, it definitely does the suckeroni. Although I think it would have been slightly more valuable to play the Somewhat Sprint, but maybe that's better. Yep, we're fucking dead. Is there any way... Here's, I think, maybe the only way, which is that if I opt into a Scorching Dragonfire right now, one time, what a fucking tease. Oh, bang. Come on, video game. Fuck. Ah, come on. This fucking game. Alright. Yeah. Wow. Oh, Sandwich Sprint. That seems like a good one. We burst this one up. That seems good. Oh, I don't think I want it to be very riddly at all. Bop. Okay. Okay. Stormwinging it, baby. Let's get something good, huh? We are one in the same. I think I should have cut the Brazen Borrowers. That feels more correct. That's valuable information, huh? Okay, so this is 5 and 5. Let's see what happens. This is the play. If we swing out and my opponent does not block, we have the ability to go shock, shock, making our 9 damage turn into 13 damage with creatures. What did this thing used to be? The Sprite Dragon? Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I mean, what can you do? Wasn't that lethal if you shocked face on attack? If I did shock, shock, that would have been 4 damage to the face, and then plus 2 damage would have set them to 1. This is our backup play if they don't wind up blocking. Nice! We'd love to see that. Let's get 1 bottom, shall we? Yes, you love to see it. If we win this game, it's because we're the most superior player to stream the video game. We're not casting them mid-combat for 2 reasons. The first is, there's a lot of instant speed bullshit that exists. If our opponent has 1 spell, we lose the game. There it is. Nice. This helps, certainly. Is there any way? No, I just think it's... I think we're dead. That was a tough game, but I thought we played well. I always feel like this has flying because I always flash it onto flyers. Oh! I think that our mistake was... I think the Brazen Borrower is not a good card in the matchup. I think if I were to do this again, I would bring in the 3 Scorching Dragonfires. I think I want to bring in... maybe... do I want to bring in the Spectral Sailors in place of the Terramanders? I think maybe I do. I think that I swap the Terries with the Spectral Sailors. I bring in the Miscasts and I cut the Brazen Borrowers. Is that right? Yeah, I think that's what I would do next time. Yeah, the real pickle that occurred in that game is we didn't quite get there with our early game mana, which put us about a turn behind consistently. You only really want 4 mana with this deck. 4 land, that is. You only really want 4 land. And I've also seen suggestions that Riddle Form is an excellent card to include / build around for future builds of this. So I think that a mistake that I also have been consistently making with this is I need to slam Dreadhorde turn 1. Okay, we should win this matchup fairly handily. Yeah, this one should be pretty straightforward. No blocks. The edge that we seek to get in this is multiple unsummons and multiple shocks in a row. See you later. I mean, this turn, for instance, is just going to be insane. I don't think we want this necessarily. Okay. Keep digging to shocks and friends. Good. Good, 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 good. Well, I mean, this is just like the absolute nuts right here. I mean, what can Ragnarok even do? What can you do? Something? No, nothing. You're boned. That's some good bone crushing. So let's see here. If I go shock, shock. So, you know, let's first things first. Let's opt and see what we get, you know? Okay. 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 We're going to take some damage here, but it's fine. I mean, we are just demolishing this deck. Again, I think that I've been undervaluing just smashing down a Dreadhorde Arcanist. This is fun. This is really fun. Can Dreadhorde recast a Brazen Borrower? It cannot. Because when you cast it as the spell side, the card goes to exile. And then once it is in exile... once the card is in exile, it's not in the graveyard. So Dreadhorde Arcanist can only cast from the graveyard. Then once you cast it from exile and it becomes a creature and that creature dies and goes to the graveyard, the card itself is a creature. Like the sort of super type of the card is a creature. ZW Stern says, would you ever do something in the vein of a Timmy Deck Tuesday? I mean... I'll play your decks, man. Maybe I should theme it, huh? Not the best draw. Really not the best draw. What's a Timmy deck? A Timmy deck is a deck... Oh yeah, you love to see it. A Timmy deck is a deck that's built around the joy of the experiential aspect of it, man. Gamer said, did you ever play that white-green weenie deck I sent you? Speaking about playing decks, I did. I lost every single game that I played badly. I don't know if I really don't get it. I mean, I wanna think that it's because the list itself is what is cursed and not my gameplay at all. Kingworth says, awesome. Glad to hear it. I'm glad that you're glad that it's all bad. Get thee to a draw, Uri. Well, I have the look and feel of a dead dude. Look and feel of a dead dude. I will mute and I will now eat a chippy. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? We had really, really bad draws. I mean, that's just the way it is sometimes. It might be arguable that I should hold off on the Sprite Dragon, but I'm going to go Mega Greedy mode. If my opponent wants to try to Bone Crusher or something, I think it's fine. My opponent's making a mistakey. Oh, yeah. I am not gonna play the Dreadhorde Arcanist, I don't think. I think my opponent has a Bone Crusher. What? Do I unsummon to save my guy? I think that's actually the play. Let's get this one back. I think this is it. I think this feels good. This feels good. Not 100% on it, but I think it is. Oh my god, it's the Thane. Yeah, I think this is right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can just go right back to where you were. Ragnarok. Oh. Hope he has no removal. We actually have too much stuff right now. See you later, nerds. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward matchup. I think this is a bad keep, but I want to keep it because I want to kind of feel what it's like. I want to see, like, actually how bad it is. A lot of times I will just do the obvious thing that is correct. But sometimes when I have any amount of doubt, even if it's like I'm 80% sure I should mulligan this, The reason it's 80% is not... There's a 20% chance this is an amazing keep. It's more like I'm unsure exactly how it will feel in the bad spot. You know. I don't know. I'm sort of obsessive about completeness. Like, the number one reason why I don't do better in Magic broadly is it's just a time and focus thing. You know, like... Great. Like, Magic's awesome, man. I love playing it. But I also love the stupid decks. Play a lot of those stupid decks. I also like to bounce between different decks, because I think the exploration is interesting. And frankly, it makes for good content.
My answers lie in the cold truth.
But even as I'm trying my little try-hard mode, even as I'm trying my little... Oh. Let's do this first and see if we can see something. Wow, we got a lot of land on top, huh? Even when I'm in my little baby try-hard modes, I do like to make myself explore fringes of things, because I think it's really interesting. It's really interesting to, as part of the learning process. Like, you know, in Starcraft. Oh yeah, if you're playing Starcraft, you don't want to one-base it. Like, really don't try to do, like, one-base plays. I mean, sure, one-base all-ins exist, but, you know.
You are going to fight beside me.
I will learn what nobody yet knows.
Maybe I should have done this first. I would have loved to have seen it, you know? Ugh. Man, I am very excited to take next week off. I am, like, actually so fucking tired. All's fine.
I need a hand, Will.
My plan is crystallizing.
I'm going in. How come you're so tired? It's a combination of things, Verena. The way that I was describing it on Monday is that I find that I get energy and joy in different small ways from different things. I love going to restaurants on the weekend and trying new foods. You hate to see it. I love doing that. Don't get to do that anymore, thanks to Corona Town. By the way, the way in which this petered out was... Even when... Let me come back to that in a moment. So what was interesting to me about this is that I'm aware that if I don't have enough spells, it probably feels like I can't do anything. But there's also a backup thought, which is, hey, maybe if I just top deck only good spells, I can, like, get there. And Royal Scions was an amazing key draw that I was able to play pretty early on, and still everything was total dog shit. I think that this, and again, that's the, yeah, I know that it's not a good keep, but it was really interesting the way in which it was not a good keep in that game. You know, and this reminds me of early in my Magic playing, I'd go, oh my god, it's bullshit. I didn't draw spells, I kept drawing land. And then I look statistically at the amount of land that I drew, and I drew the absolute expected amount. In other words, things went as normally as they could have gone. And I was like, oh, it's not that I drew land, it's that my deck, something else is going wrong. Such that I need to draw disproportionately more spells at some point. And that's like a key difference. Let me also just figure this out really fast. Let's see here. I missing? Oh, whoops. Do I want the Whirlwind Denials here? I'm just going to give it a shot. So that's an example of me taking my intuition and doing some measure of it and going, wow, my intuition's telling me I lost because I didn't draw land. Or because I didn't draw spells. But the answer is I drew exactly as many spells as I should have. As I was expected to. What the fuck is going on here? I guess I keep this and chuck one of these back. Crash through, turn 1. And so in that first game, it's like, okay, my intuition tells me that I need to mulligan this, but I'm curious what it feels like to keep and see if I can get any more data. And it's interesting that this deck feels very like combo-y, like I need to have multiple spells on a turn to do stuff. I like felt that super much. This is a fucking sorcery? Alright, I'm fucked. You love to see it. Dude, whatever. So it says I'm going to be the guy that says I think the deck is bad. This deck is awesome. This deck is actually very, very, very good. You'll love to see it. Seems good enough. Damn. Got me.
Past, present, and I have just the trick for this.
I'm gonna get this miscast. Maybe I'm a turn too late. Oh, nice.
This is overwhelming.
Perfect. I think this is right. Because right now this casts or costs 4. Ooh. I'm nearly certain that my opponent has a Casualties of War. I'm like nearly certain. Because like there's lots and lots and lots of buildup. So I still want to hold stuff. Fucking Baneslayer Angel, huh? And this is first strike. Flying lifelink, huh? Okay. not dead yet. We have a lot of power here. Well, this explains some things. Nothing yet. Well, this is great. Perfect, 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 perfect. Gonna wait, because I still get really owned by Casualties of War. Makes this cheaper. What a pickle. See, my opponent is now getting to the point where they can cast Casualties of War and pay the miscast cost. Okay. Okie dokie. I think we're very smartly not just smashing down a Stormwing entity, because that would be bad. Dude, how amazing. How astounding are we to have read that situation like that from the beginning. Oh my god, we're so good. God, we are amazing. We are just so good, man. That is... I mean, you love to see that. You love to see that. That is good shit. Let's get this shit down to 1. Oh, yeah. Oh, feels nice. Feels nice. Shouldn't we miscast there? They have 3 Paradise Druids, so they can just pay the cost. Because miscast is counter unless his controller pays 3. Otherwise, it would be the most broken card! And vintage players would be like, yeah, the card's, it's just a weak card, which is why I don't like it. Vintage is really weird. Vintage, for any of you who don't know, is the Magic format where you can play all the cards. Okay. Vintage is all the Magic cards ever printed. Go. And I mean, like, the best cards in Vintage are cards like... Whenever an artifact would tap for mana, it taps for colorless mana instead. And Vintage players are like, oh my god, this card's broken. Like... That was a well-played little game there. Bam. Oh, yeah. Also, we didn't need the opt because we can cast the Brazen Borrower and miscast our Brazen Borrower to get to 5. Are you... What is it? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Our little tiny buddy. Our little tiny buddy Share Bear. She wants to come hang out. Hi, little friend. Hello. What's going on? Yeah, I was just in here and I miss you. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, do you want to just come over here and sleep on the box? Look, everyone's coming to visit. Hello. You are insane. Oh, hello. Wow. We got ourselves a happy little cat. Blade GL says, we could have miscast our Brazen Borrower. However, I'm 99% sure we would have interfaced ourselves. Okay, I actually think I want to save the crash through to when we have a pair of dragons. Figbird, gifting us 10 in our final week of streaming. We're officially retiring from streaming. This week. This is it. Surprise, everyone. I'm kidding, but still. Surprise, everyone. I'm outie. I tease, and everyone's like, oh, geez. Oof. The oof of Kaya. Huge oof. Collector oof. Craft Fru. Bang. And this is whenever you cast a non-creature spell. So this is nice. But Figbird, thanks for the 10 gifties, man. That $50 came in, I was like, perfect. That's all I needed to never, ever speak to any of you again. I was like, did I know? Day 9. Ow. Alright. What do we think the probability of some type... Some type of pickly, prickly casualties of war. I don't think that there is one. I don't think that there is one. Because if our opponent had casualties of war, why waste the Mythos of Nethroi? Hi! Hello! What's up? Are you okay? You go to the corners and meow at them a lot. I've been actually meaningfully worried about this little cat. She's being a little bit nutty lately. Are you okay? Now we can drown, villain, and card advantage. I know, sweetie pie. See, that meow is just so agonized. I'm like, oh, baby girl, what's going on? So I think that I just keep hitting the face and drawing a card at the end of each turn. Okay, so this is... Do I want to Whirlwind Denial? I think I'll Lofty this. I think Loftying is good. Meow. You love to see it. You love to see it. So this looks like a what I will call an eventually winning position. Jesus, what is going on? Little bug. Sheriff. Yeah, do you want attention? Do you want to play more? Like, what's going on? Why are we being so weird today? That's what I'm going to do on my break, is I am just going to play with my cats 24 hours a day. That's it. I don't know when we're ever really going to get to use this Whirlwind Denial. That's fine. It's Cheville. You know, I recently watched Jurassic Park. Look, everyone, it's Cheville! It's Cheville! Look, everyone, it's Cheville! See? Nobody cares. You love to see it. Yeah, put a little bounty on me. Put a bounty on me. I think I don't care. Look, it's a solemn simulacrum, everybody. See, nobody cares. I can neither deny it nor lofty deny it. Our opponent just pays the mana. You love to see it. You love to see it. See, nobody cares. Yeah, I mean, I think... I think we got it. Cool. This is okay. We permit them to draw a card. They killed 2 cards to try to draw a better card. So I think it's more important for me to just permit that to occur. I can continue to drown my opponent in card advantage. And just build up more substantial board presence. That seems fine. And then we can lofty negate anything that we so need. Very simple. Simple plans for this simple man. Simple, 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 simple. Got him! So I want to finish what I was talking about with Russ Paul earlier, about why I'm so tired. I get a lot of joy from a lot of small places in different ways. You know, I get fulfillment from just streaming. I just like streaming. It's really nice. I know a lot of people are struggling in Corona times, or even outside of that are just, you know, looking for some community and some comfort. We like to provide that here, and that feels good. I like when the Magic the Gathering metagame is good. I like that, because it makes the actual playing of the game mentally stimulating and exciting. I like calling my friends and talking about what sort of projects they're working on, you know. Got a friend who's been doing, to avoid going into too much detail so I don't derail myself, has been working on a collection of pieces, art pieces, and has just been talking to me about it. It's been interesting. It's a really interesting thing. I like talking to my friends about that. I have a friend that writes. Talk to my buddy about what's going on in the stories. That's really interesting. I like going to restaurants. you know, going out on a Friday or Saturday night. Sometimes both. Whoa. New place, new food. I've recently learned to love going to get da massages and go to the spa and just chill at the spa. Not like one of those pricey, over-the-top, ridiculous spas, but just like one that has like saunas, hot tubs, shit like that. It's nice. It's really, really nice. Bone Crusher Giant. See, nobody cares. Yeah, Korean spas are amazing. I love that. It's like a very nice form of relaxation. I like going to the gym and doing not too crazy difficult to workouts, but just like running. It's just nice. I like doing that kind of thing. And what I've been finding... Oh, and I like doing little projects outside of streaming. Just things that are interesting. That feel like I spent a few weeks doing one thing. I really like that, right? These all sort of satisfy some different needs. Put on top. Sure. I bet you didn't know that the Sea Dasher Octopus still lands. Whoa! Get thee gone. And what it has felt like for me building up over the summer is that all of my joy shit... Alright, so I think that I want to unsummon you fuckface. What it's felt like over the last few weeks and few months is obviously coronavirus has deleted my ability to go to restaurants, to go to the spa. I really don't want to take off all my clothes and slip into a sauna with 15 other people that may or may not have coronavirus. Like I'm not in the mood for that dude. My opponent should note that they're essentially dead on board. Shock would be the nuts. Don't need more of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Cool. With work, part of the reason why I can do projects outside of streaming is that we've really streamlined the streaming business very well to free up that free time. Now that all live events are canceled and all these marketing budgets are being shifted around in all sorts of different nutty ways, it kind of makes it like very impossible to get a good grip. Oh, super cool. Everything's just sort of going haywire. So I'm like low on free time outside of work. Most of my friends that have jobs or have their own projects, none of them are working on their projects. So I suddenly don't have a lot of that stuff to talk about with my buddies. The Magic metagame for a long time was Team of Reclamation and Teferi, and I wanted to die. It's just a lot of that. A lot of that. And I just, dude, it's just getting tired. Let's do this. Let's do this. Sideboarding plan. So we're up against some sort of like teamer monsters. what do we really want here? I think I do want the Scourging Dragon figures. Huh. What do we get rid of here? Oh god, the news is just really upsetting with just the amount of death. So I actually just want some time to disconnect and do new fun stuff. Do actually interesting, compelling, fun shit. What, oh what do I cut, oh cut? Do I really just cut the Royal Scions? I feel like I'm overcutting the Royal Scions. It feels incorrect. I mean, the Royal Scions feels like an incredibly, incredibly good card. Alright, so let's see. What do I do here? Okay. +2 negates, -2 shocks. Alright, I'm halfway through doing the sideboarding plan for this. Halfway through doing the sideboarding plan for this. All right, we did some clumsy sideboarding. All right, let's get rid of this one, huh? Let's get rid of this one. I think I needed to get in the Narsets was the notable one. I think I need to get the Narsets. Oh, you said they could? I'm sorry, Ghost Stalker. I saw a big long link and I was like, get out of here. Gospoo, please repaste the link, please. I mean, let me tell you, these streamers are the worst, Gospel. These streamers are absolutely the worst. We're up against a Teamer Rampamentals deck. Good, that's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, I think... So it's Teamer Ramp, huh? Yeah, I think the idea is that if we're building up a lot of counter spiels, only temples here, we're gonna hurt something wicked here. I don't know what our villain could possibly do that would be useful with 1 blue or 1 red. Maybe a single shock, but even then I would be surprised to see a shock. Senki. Or perhaps it's 5 ink 1, but Senki gifted 10 subs and... Senki, how do I pronounce your name? You're a new gifter here, so we gotta give you a warm welcome, you know what I mean? Oh, that's right. This doesn't get flashed back. Alright, fucked up. Jerry tells us, Day 9, were you the kind of math student that could actually write Xi? Yeah, absolutely. Because I practiced it. You do it, and then you do a little squiggle. Feels good. Xi's a dope ass fucking toim. All right, let's Let's make like the movie Jurassic Park and shoot her. Yeah, man, I loved writing C, man. That was a big moment of pride, trying to write C. Lowercase c. This shock. This crash through. This crash through. This shock, shoot this. Ah! Yeah, I think the statement is I want a limited amount of shocks and I want to err more on the side of being a counter-spiely person. And if I'm being largely counter-spiely, the Dreadhorde Arcanists lose substantial value, so I should cut all 4 Dreadhorde Arcanists to make sure that I have enough counter-spiels. It's Cheeto Fingers! See, now I regret cutting the Royal Scions. Now I feel like a real dum-dum, because now I can't flash back the Scorching Dragonfire. Yeah, I think I say goodbye to my friend. So villain has no cards in hand and no future. Welcome to the hand, my friend. So villain is kind of hoping, praying. Fingery dingery crossinger. Oh yeah, you love to see that, huh? Let's get this recast, okay. Whoosh whoosh. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess this is actually fine, you know? The more the damagier on top. So that's, I mean, this is a pretty good amount of beating. Stormwing Entity. You know, I could have mutated onto the Dreadhorde Arcanist and swung, and then flash back the little one. Is Yorion an elemental? No, it's a bird serpent. Hit me. I didn't board this out. Fucking rad. So we win. Yeah. We win. So if they have a little combat trickery dickery do. Then like this, cast on that guy. Sure. This flies. Yeah. I completely blacked out during the sideboarding. I have no idea what happened during sideboarding. But we're marking W's and we feel good. Yeah, man, I am just so excited next week to not do stuff. I'm not going to do anything, man. Dun, 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 dun. Seems okay. Okay. Untapped land is good. As jokes as you say, now Sean Bive's feeling some work will creep in. No, it'll absolutely creep in. I mean, I already have stuff that I have to get done next week. Which is simply the way that thingies are. Alright, this is a mono-red list that appears to be running Ginger Brutes. Cool looking mountain. Pretty rad. Ginger Brutes are often a sign of Cavalcade of Calamity. Oh, are you a Winota deck? Is this a Winota deck? Oh my god. Holy crap, dude. It's like a Winota deck. Alright, well, I'm just going to mutate straight onto this immediately. With the big damages on top. I say it's Winota because Boros and Mardu Winota have been pretty popular. I'm just going to keep cycling. Yep, this is very Winota-y. So our goal is to attempt to outrace our opponent. I think I draw first. Stormwing Entity is the perfect card. I just want more spells at this point because we're very, very, very close to just winning outright. If it goes land Winota, we just unsummon. Easy. So Winota, for many of you who do and don't know, and everything in between, Winota became a very popular card with Agent of Treachery, because Winota says whenever you attack with a non-human, look at the top 6 cards, and maybe put in a human. And so, like, you would dig for a Winota Pagoda. You know, I really don't need this many Lofty Denials. Actually, yeah, I don't. Perfect. Bam. Yeah, Winota used to be the thing that you played to get the Agent of Treachery out super, super, super crazy early. And that was, like, ultra rad. Or some shit. You know, you'd take control of land, take control of big creatures, whatever. When Agent of Treachery got banned, a lot of Winota things kind of went to the back burner because, you know, Uro and Temur Adventures, or excuse me, Temur Reclamation and Fairy and other things were just so unfrickin' believably strong. Nice. It was just so strong that you didn't really see it. But now that the bans have gone through, these Winota decks have come back not to pull out Agent Treachery, since that card's banned, but to pull out all sorts of other interesting, cool, and compelling stuffs. And just generally fill the board with garbage. And kill you. I'm just going to swing in and then double Lofty. Double Lofty. War Boss feels weird to include in Winota. It's a pretty essential include because it is a non-human and it summons non-humans. So you kind of have some weird 1, 2, and 3 drops with the goal of helping to try to guarantee that you can proc Winota upon her casting. I completely forgot that this was a Terramander. We probably could have gotten the win in last turn. Alright, let's go to our handy-dandy sideboarding guide. Here's where we kill the Royal Scions. Thing in a Terry, and we just put in our removally doodlies. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Dude, I am like permanently tired. I had a really fun conversation with Sean and Lee yesterday, though. That was rad. You love to see it. You love to see it. That's a good ass list. Similarly, name says, oh, Winota works off tokens too. Yeah, that's the thing that makes it particularly sick. Oh god, I gotta tell you all about this thing I'm excited about. Well, first of all, again, short-term notice. Tomorrow, at the usual scheduled time, 1:30 Pacific. Hold on one second, let me think. At 1:30 Pacific, Nox and I are doing a 3-hour Amonkhet Remastered special. Which I am pretty excited about. What's Amonkhet Remastered? They are re-releasing a whole slew of the old Amonkhet cards. Yeah, they're re-releasing a whole slew of the old Amonkhet cards. It's going to be, like, really exciting. Ooh, yeah. I think I want to be the active bear. No, I think that maybe this is going to be good. Amonkhet Remastered is going to be coming to Arena, and there's going to be custom draft formats. There's going to be custom sealed. They've even included some cards that were not originally part of Amonkhet to sort of round it all out. It's going to be rad. So, I mean, Nox and I are even doing a top 10 Jank Remastered. And because I Lofty Denial the Giant Killer, we can get the whole thing out. So if I unsummon Opt, yeah, that seems pretty good. Unsummon Opt. Yeah, it's gonna be classic Amonkhet jank Drenzen. It's gonna be us picking the jankiest shit there. We're gonna be doing some sealed against each other. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Faust says, I can't wait to get angry after getting Thoughtseize turn 1 every game. It's going to be great. Yeah, baby. Dum, da, 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 dum, dum. Bum, bum, da, da, dum, bum, ba, dum. Cool. We're keeping this. It's the Luris deck. It's the Luris deck, man. This deck is fun as hell. This deck is awesome. Archfiend's Vusel. Oh, I'd love that one. Dum da da dum dum da dum. Great. Great out of 8. Druid Hoodle Orcanist. Vermigerd Arcanist. Why couldn't it have milled me? Well, you know, I guess we're gonna do kind of a classical turn where we just opt Stormwing Entity. Yeah, Daspu, to what are you referring when it comes to this meta shift, as it were? I think I just want neither of these things, man. I already have an Opt in the bin. I can't really swing on the ground because of this Mire Triton, but I might want to do it soon. What do you know? Bing bong, bang. Bounce, unsummon. Be pretty nice, at least initially, versus Archfiend's Vessel. Maybe I should play around the turn 3 big boy stuffs. All right, let's see what we get. Boink. You love to see it. I mean, simple plays, man. Simple plays. Just bounce the thing and go. I mean, here's the thing, Gospu. I don't know if the meta's going to shift that much. Gospu's Banelings was nerfed a lot versus Terran Bio. And Terran Bio... Banelings were nerfed a lot, and Terran Bio was more prevalent. Yeah, I mean, I actually feel like there's this kind of... There's a bit of a pickle when it comes to... I think this guy goes... There's a bit of a pickle when it comes to the Baneling, because Banelings, like, are just really, really, really stupidly, unbelievably fucking good against, like, everything. They're actually just good against units. Unsummon one time. Let me just turn on this full control and then hit OK. Don't want to play this because Crocs is going to swing and we got to discard. We could win. Not a chance. Ah. Claim the Firstborn owns us pretty much no matter what, but... Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, all these bounce effects. Get the hell out of here. Every bounce effect must go. And Scorching Dragonfires and Flame Sweeps must come in. Perfect. Easy. Easy boarding. Oh my god, it was Get There City! Woo! Yeah, dude. I think... I don't like Banelings as a unit design, actually. I'm not a fan of it. I'm back. Dot by do back. His hand is bad by do back. Dip a dot by do. I'm gonna keep it. Hey, yeah. Yeah, I don't like the Baneling overall. I think, like, here's the thing. I think that the Banelings are conceptually awesome and aesthetically are the Zerg, dude. They're the Zerg, straight up. I mean, it's beautiful. I love... By the way, I think that the design of StarCraft 2 is just 10 out of 10. It's just, it's absolute plasma. I mean, the design is just, it's just so good. It's just so good. Like, let's take a moment to appreciate why the design of StarCraft 2 is 10 out of 10. Like, StarCraft 2 did the amazing balancing act of, one, creating a good, deep, rich, competitive game. Period. It succeeded at this. C'est incroyable. That's really good. Land one time. Fuck. And it really enriched and expanded upon all these sweet identity things. Of all these rad races. Ooh, that sucks. No flame sweeps for your friend Sean, that's for sure. We're going to take some of the pain and spam, if you know what I mean. So, like, for instance, the creep. The creep in StarCraft 2. Oh, that's so awesome. Has there ever been anything like the creep in an RTS game, ever? Because, I mean, if you guys have never played StarCraft 2, one of the factions functions kind of like the alien from the movie Aliens. Good. You know, they put this gack all over their territory, and there had been some instances of... Ah, shit, by the way, I just am going to do this, and if I whiff the land, we are super fucked. Ooh, shit, we are super fucked here. Ay, that is gross. That is just horror right there. Horror. Fuck. Yep, get in there. But the thing about there have been the you can't build except here mechanics. Like you have to build a pylon and there's a small power grid, or the undead in Warcraft 3. You actually have to make. Oh fuck! That was such a good. All right, I'm conceding because I'm annoyed that we didn't hit a land. You can only build on the blight, you know. But the thing about the creep in Starcraft 2 is it's this sort of goo that's on the ground, and you have units that can spread the creep forward until, like, as the game goes on, the Zerg is just slowly gooping up the entire map, and you have these little things called creep tumors that expand the creep, and when you kill the tumor, it sort of slowly pulls back. My sideboarding's fine. It was so cool. It's so cool, this idea of just spreading your influence all across the map in this super active way. Thank God. That's a good hand. Thank God. It was so cool. It was so fucking cool, man. I loved it. I loved the design of, like, the Terran, you know, cute utility type things. I think I should have opted Stormwing Entity, but I was just scared. You know, the idea of these these add-ons. Oh, it's just so cool. You love to see it. I think maybe this is actually not good to do, because I just need land. What can you do? Yeah, I don't know. It's like, that game just was so rad. It was so unbelievably rad. Alright, I guess if we, you know, never draw land, what can you do?
By your side, I am always ready.
Alright, I'm all in.
Galvanizes any plan.
How could we win this, huh? Okay. Alright. Yeah, that just, I mean, if you don't draw land in the good matchup, then you die. So there you go. Well, what are you gonna do? But StarCraft 2's design is just, like, so good. There's so, like, almost every unit in that game does something that's just emotionally sweet. It's just so cool. However, I do think that the Baneling is the one unit in StarCraft 2 that I have the most just issues with as a unit. I think it's too good, because the Baneling is a unit that is basically a walking bomb. If it dies, it explodes and deals damage. If its attack is to throw its body at something and explode and deal damage. And in the game, there's a few reasons why I take issue with it. First of all, as a low-tech unit, I think it's doing something way too spiky. I think it like, you know, I come from Brood War, like, logic of you don't get anything that does anything spiky until the mid-game. All your early game things sort of have a well-roundedness to them. Opponent goes first. This is not good enough. Maybe if my opponent's going first and I have a crash through, this should actually be okay. Great. Mardu something? like, and when I say spiky, I mean it has some really big strength, some really big weakness. In the Starcraft style games, you don't really have a lot of units in the early game. And, I mean, I think some of you are familiar with this concept in chess. That... in chess, if you have 7 pieces and they have 6 pieces, it feels like you have a tiny edge. But if you have 3 pieces and they have 2 pieces, it starts to feel like more of an edge. And if you have... I think that I've done some things incorrectly here, but what are you going to do? If you have 1 piece and they have 0 piece, so in other words, in chess, if you get ahead on 1 piece, you want to trade away. So that way you have 1 piece and they have no pieces. And in StarCraft, the sort of opposite is true. And in a lot of games where you're doing build-ups, it's really dangerous to be in a situation where I have 5 units and my opponent has no units and I just instantly win. Once you get to the mid and late game, the differentials in the numbers, percentage-wise, feel smaller. Oh, you have 42 units and I have 36 units. We have pretty close to the same army. But 6 to 0 units, it's just like, oh, I'm totally fucked. So when I see a lot of units that have potential spikes in them, a spike, like a non-spiky unit would be like, I just shoot and deal damage to 1 target. It's like single target damage things, like 10 Marines versus 15 Zerglings. Things are just attacking each other. Basri's A. Okay. Sure wish I had some more blue, huh? What are you gonna do? This is probably the way to actually pierce through in the damage. Yeah. League Soup says it doesn't sound like reverse, it sounds like the same. What I mean is that in StarCraft you start with nothing and grow to lots of things. In chess you start with lots of things and grow to nothing. And in chess, there's a lot of intensity when you get to the late game because people have almost nothing, so even losing 1 pawn is really dramatic. And in StarCraft, it's kind of the opposite. Like, there's a lot of drama at the start of the game, because if you have, like, a scouting unit and you lose it at the one time when you really needed to figure out what was going on, I mean, it feels like poo-poo caca, man. It feels super duper bad. Okay, this could be our savior. This could really be it. I think we need a blue land. We already have the unsummon. Yeah, I just need a blue land. And so there's like a lot of concerns design-wise in any RTS about like how do you not die at the very start of the game and avoid this like I just instantly lose right at the very, 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 very start of the game. I block nothing. I'm a nihilist. One time. Just need a blue mana. Blue mana. You hate to see it. You really hate to see it. Okay, let me count. Let me finish this point in a moment. I think we're totally fucked. Man, there's a lot of ways we could have gotten out of this pickle. Had an amazing position, and, you know, just didn't get there. What are you going to do? No. Oop. Come back, Terramanders. Come back. Clean and easy. So you wind up in this problematic situation in a lot of RTS games early on where, like, you want to get past this point where all the unit numbers are too small and everything feels too fragile, to finally a point where you feel less fragile in the mid and late game, and then you feel unfragile again. Mick Porter says, Sprite Dragon into Unsummon into 10 damage. Yeah, we needed another island for that. We only had one island, so if we cast a Sprite Dragon, we wouldn't have another blue for the Unsummon. Mr. Zimba says, mana seems to be this deck's issue to me. I would be remiss to say that mana is this deck's issue, because we've won every single match for a while, except for just the last match. Like, we've been kicking fucking ass. The deck's great. And I think that I would describe it less that there's a problem with the deck, but the thing that one must be careful about is this deck has a very, very thin mana base, and it must be thoughtfully played around and with. I think that is a tricky pickle. But yeah, so let me come back to the Baneling. So first of all, a big issue I have with the Baneling is that it's a little too spiky too early. The fact that it is an early game unit. Like, you literally just build a spawning pool, and then you build a Baneling nest, and boom, done. And you can do something like, in Zerg vs. Zerg, have one Baneling kill 10 Zerglings in the early game, and the game is over. Like, the game is truly fucking donezo. Sure. Pick your favorite. Great. But I mean, like, there's the Ling versus Baneling, but then there's also, like, okay, since small numbers mean that you die early on in RTS games, what players... Okay, here's another thing that exacerbates some of the stresses in RTS games, is if I want to... I need units. If I want to... Perfect. 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 If I want to get ahead, often doing something greedy early on has compounding benefits. For instance, if I build one extra worker early on, workers collect 40 minerals a minute. After 10 minutes, that's 400 extra minerals. That's a whole new expansion that I can get because I built one extra worker early on. Similarly, you don't want to lose that one worker early on. That totally sucks. Stormwing Entity, let's go. Yeah, I'll do that for sure. Oh, yeah. And so, you know, if there is... And there's a lot of things like this that compound. If I get an upgrade early on... Because I got my upgrade early on, I can get the level 2 of that upgrade even sooner. And so on and so on and so on. So there's a lot of wish to cut corners. Again, wish to bring your unit count closer to 0. So that way you can be way stronger later, but then you risk huge fragility right now. And so a lot of the ways that people will get around, will attempt to cut corners. Well, I think I've just kind of picklied myself here, but that's fine. I'll just shoot this, and then I'll opt my way into some goodness here. I don't need any of those, I need units. So a lot of the ways that people will be able to cut corners is they will, say, construct a Shock Flame Sweep. And then we do Shock Opt and still try to get a Stormwing Entity. Shock. Opt. Opt. That'll do great. One of the ways people will cut corners is with things like very clever building placement or getting just the right one unit. And I feel like the Baneling just disrupts so much stuff. Like, for instance, you have a sentry, and your one sentry will be your one saving grace in this early game situation. This one sentry will be the one thing you use to hopefully get ahead in this damn game. Oh, yeah. And then you miss that one single sentry shot to force field to protect yourself, and the Baneling just rolls through and annihilates absolutely everything. Crash through. Opt. Opt. And the game's done. And I think that this is a bit of a flaw with the way that the Baneling comes down early. But then I think, by the same token, we might say, okay, what about late game? What do we think about the Baneling in the late game? I think that there are so... like, the unit pathing is so good, and the armies get so large so fast, that you wind up in this position where you just have, like... Banelings counter everything because it doesn't... Banelings counter every unit because... Banelings are good against clusters. So I can just keep making Banelings and throw them at... Even if you're going mech, and Baneling's damage type is it deals half damage to all units and full damage to light units. Doesn't even matter, you just deal... Just roll on through. So that's kind of why I have, like, an issue with them. They just seem a little too... spiky early and a little too generally roundedly good late. So I totally hear what you're saying, Sean. I do find the Baneling is an exciting unit, though, so I'm torn. Yeah, no, I think that the unit is fucking awesome. I think it's a really rad unit. I think the design is really awesome. I think I want Landos. Do I still play SC2? I sort of am on and off with it. Mostly, I lately just play Commander. I mean, I don't do anything super competitive anymore. Oh, man. All right. Tithe Taker, I don't think, is a good unit versus us. Dire Tic Tacs. Stormwing Entity is just a beating in this matchup, so pretty comfortable with it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna shoot this one. Oh, he's gone. Bam. Play the big one. Pow. Win the game, boom. It is a good day to scry. Yeah, I think that this will probably secure it for us. I don't know if it's correct to leave the island there, but I think I would like a Terry. Okay. Cool. I have no idea what our opponent has done. Raise the alarm. Yeah, I mean, Winota's bad for us, but I don't think that this deck really would benefit that much from Winota. Maybe there's enough vampires. in there. Okay. I think maybe I didn't do this properly. I'm pretty sure I just gotta do this, huh? I didn't play around Judy properly. Is this is... Oh yeah, knights are not... Oh, fuck. I always found this dumb. This is not a human, by the way. This is not human. This is a knight. This is a knight. Wow, I'm actually going to live through this turn, man. That is tight. No, I took 1 damage from something. Just kill me. Well, farts. I didn't play properly around the fact that it was Winota. Again, I would be remiss to start saying things like this deck gets mana screwed. The problem with this deck is XYZ because we're winning a lot of games. We have an extremely high win rate thus far. We've lost the 2 in a row with with plenty of room for different play lines. But it's like just the last 2, and I think maybe the first one we lost as well. Looks good. So I mean, when we are like absolutely fucking owning, I'm not keen to start shooting myself in the foot. To try to win 100% of them. Winning 100% of games is a very Starcraft thing to do. Okay, so... Get out of here, guys. Go away. I think I need the spells. Yeah, I have not really felt any mana issues with this deck. I've actually felt quite the opposite. This deck seems very, very resilient. Oh, fuck. Because, I mean, you gotta know, even decks with insane mana bases still get mana screwed sometimes. Still happens. Am I about to get double boned? The infamous double bone.
Get away from me!
Get away from me!
What is my strategy here?
You know, double bone crusher is a little painful because these mono red decks really run very, very little removal. Generally, just the bone crushers. I guess this one. Play the Dreadhorde, pal. We're not in a screwed spot, but we're still in a bit of a painful sport.
Let it go, Rowan. I will steady your mind, Rowan. I will learn what nobody yet knows.
Get out of here. Boom. Megalo Fiend with the Sweet 16.
Cover my back, Rowan!
EXE Vunkerchuk. Closing in on 3 whole years. Oh yeah.
Back to training.
Okay, so I don't think I have anything good for this guy to cast, so we're gonna do a little digging in. So many Royal Scions. Unsummon the Bone Crusher. That doesn't seem like a value positive play. That's correct. It's not a value positive play. We are going for tempo. Oh my god! This human draws all the Bone Crushers. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. We're done. Yeah, the win condition in this matchup is going to be the let's see, I want these guys, and I gotta cut one thing. I think I cut the Sea Dasher. Let me just take a peek here. We've been triple boned. Ah, that's right. We cut a Brazen Borrower. I was like, what is the card to cut? And then, aha, figured it out. Flame Sweep is actually so good. I'm hanging on to it, baby. This is, I wish was something else, but, you know, 4 mana is fine. Oh, I hate this island art. I gotta change this. Both the art for both of these just sucks ass, man. I don't want either of these. These are bad arts because I don't like crystals, and that's all there is to it. That is a full evaluation of the art. Has crystals, don't want it. Get me out of here. And nothing? Really? Okay. Nope. XCL says, Annex seems like the better thing to remove. It saves us 2 life. No, XCL, if we attack with the Dreadhorde Arcanist, our opponent has a Bone Crusher. So if we don't bounce the Bone Crusher, we immediately lose the Dreadhorde Arcanist. So the choice is not Annex or Bone Crusher. It's Bone Crusher or nothing. Is it better to scry, or is it better to crash through here? I think this is better. Villain is okay. All of our land, great. Yeah. So I mean that's basically it. Like we were attacking into an untapped Bone Crusher. Why is it that I only have land? Okay. Well, I guess this is it. Jesus. What is this, man? Well, I mean, that's kind of good, but everything else is super bad. Again, even in a deck with essentially no land. still wind up drawing all the land. Because that's the way that probability functions. I mean, I guess. I don't need fixing. I need spells, man. I need spells. Spells, spells, spells. We're pretty screwed. I mean, just looking at the list, we're pretty substantially favored in this matchup. So this just sucks. And now they have a Scorching Dragonfire. Holy fuck. Yeah, we lose. Maybe the lesson there was just not to keep the hand with the Opt Flame Sweep. That was too ambitious of a keep. Maybe that's the lesson. We gotta change out the swamps and mountains. Not the swamps and mountains, the islands and mountains. Yeah, let's do... Yeah. This is like one of my favorite arts on any card, so I'm gonna get that one in there. I mean, Ixie Zealot, if we're in a situation where we have the choice, do we bounce an Anax or do we bounce a Bone Crusher? And that's the only question. Like, I'm going to cast it right now, and there are two things. Then yes, I mean, certainly it's better to bink the other one. Certainly, certainly. We might be up against a flash counter pal, which is fine. We have Brazens and Sea Dashers. Okay, this is a Simic flash list. Brian Bourne, Butthead. Let's just flash this in now, so it can't be countered. I kind of expect this to get countered. Rewind is a pain. Huh. That is a real pain. Not much else to do, really. No draw! Oh, hell yes. Arrival's my kind of guy. My kind of player. Royal Scions does nothing for us here. Land also does nothing for us here. Great. Really, 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 really good. Oh my god, why would it use that land? Why would it ever use this land? Why would it ever do this? What the fuck? Everything hurts, man. Everything hurts lately. As long as our opponent keeps forgetting to fucking tap, that's good. Great. Oof. Oh my god. Who would have ever thought? Woo! More presents, alright! I don't have the flyer out. Alright, everything sucks. Everything sucks. I think that's... I did it. I won. I have a Dreadhorde Arcanist down. Bye-bye. That's a really, really good one to get. Really good one. Really good one. What do we think? Nice. Who's the flash deck now? Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh my god, Morniel. What a thrill. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think this is a brilliant piece in the sideboard. Arrival is in bad shape. Yes. Don't want to cast it. Man. Kaboom. Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Alright. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I think I don't play this card very well. Hello, baby. How are you? You doing okay, sweetheart? You seem pretty grumpy these days. I think I need to just play more with this cat. Hey, sure. She comes over here, she rubs against me, and then she walks away again. But in particular, she walks to the front door. Where, as I would assume it, she wants to go on a walk. Villain will probably not run Flame Sweep in the main. Meow, meow, wah. Oh, God, Father. Oh, Jesus, Dad. Oh, fuck.
Andra, you need more control. Just let me burn.
You're allowed to take her out for walks? Yeah, but she like, only wants to go on walks. And she's not allowed to go on walks at all times. Dad, no, Father. Father, please, Father. Oh, God.
With my sister by my side, I do not fear the unknown. Let us plan for the trials ahead.
I mean, listen to this agony. This cat is just, she's like dying. She's dying to go outside.
Ian's walk it off, Chandra.
Oh, Paula, I'm terribly sorry to hear that, man. You know, I'm gonna lock her back here. This is what we do sometimes. Uh-oh. Oh, it's an Euro list. Who'd have thought? Sweetheart, what's going on? Now you're locked back here with me, and I put you on the books. There you go. Yeah, you're not allowed to meow at the door like that. There you go. Here, if you want to stand on the suitcase, you can. That's pretty fun. Yeah. See, I really think I do have to play with that little darling baby cat more. Cause I gotta wear the little kitty cat out. Okay. So let us see what we have here. Let's first draw and disco.
What nobody yet knows.
I mean, this seems straight enough as is. Dreadhorde Arcanist is pretty damn good. I know, it's horrible. It's so hard to be a little cat in this house, you know. It's just the worst. It's the worst. Alright. Hey. I know you want to go outside. Come here. Holy fuck. Who main decked Storm's Wrath, huh? Who knew? Storm's Wrath. Who knew? This was a card that people ran. Alright, Royal Scion time. Let's go. Starting to work our way up. Boom. Shock to the bin. Hey, what is going on with you? Where are we chewing on the doorknob? What are we doing chewing on the doorknob? This cat has lost her damn mind. I think we are more than likely dead. Storm's Wrath is not typically run in the main. What is ah, we're doomed. Okay. On to the sideboarding. On to the sideboarding plan. So we're up against a sort of Teamer Ramp looking list, I think. Meow. Okay. These guys are not going to be that useful here. Spectral Sailor, negate. I'll put in a miscast. Probably not. Probably this. Probably this. Get these unsummons out of here. What's another one that we cut? This guy. And then put in 2 of these. Something like that. Might cut one of these and put in a 3rd of those. That seems good. Okie dokie. Yeah, hey, what are we doing? Are we chilling out on the box? Where'd we go? We're gone. Goodbye, Sheriff. I don't know where she is. That's great, but she's definitely locked in here with me. I am the Rorschach of this household. There she is. What's up? Hi. Oh, she's giving me the Share Bear stare, man. She is mad. She can't believe that I would ever be so awful as to not let her go into the hallway right now. She wants to go into that hallway, man. Now, of course, my guy does the same thing when he wants to go on a walk, except he has vocal cord damage. So he sounds really raspy and undead. Yeah, no, part of me wants to just wake up in the middle of the night and just, like, take her on a 5 a.m. walk. And just go roll around in the hallway. You know, just have a good time. Surprise, those people across the street are having a party in Corona times, blasting super loud music at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday night. What is wrong with people? I don't know. I know, baby girl. I know, everything's horrible. Everything's horrible, I understand, Sheriff. It's the worst. We're inside, and the only thing that's here is me and eternal love and undying focus on you, my little baby sweet cat. The only thing you can't do right now is go outside. That's it. Where is it in 1 a.m. right now? Basically most of Europe. Should be midnight-ish in She's dying. Should be 12:03 a.m. in UK. So they're 8 hours ahead of us in Cali. Hi. Yeah, hi. What is it? Here, look, I'm going to put my hand here. And if you want to come over, you can. We're seeing what's going to... There's a lot of drama unfolding before our very eyes. Yeah, do you not... You're mad at me, huh? You just really don't want... It's right here. I know, it's horrible. Alright, risk-taking time. We're gonna gotta let that one resolve. Maybe I should have just played the Stormwing Entity. That's like our win condition. Bam! I think I should have just played the Stormwing Entity.
It seems we would, but I will learn what nobody yet knows.
What nobody yet knows. I see. How's the deck doing? We were owning, and we've lost. We lost 2, and then we won 1, and now we're in this game. This is looking bad, and this cat is driving me fucking insane.
I enjoy the proper application of knowledge.
Ooh, this hurts a lot. Yeah, I should have played that Stormwing Entity a few turns back. You know, after this match, we're going to take like 7-8 minute break, because I'm going to try to figure out what the fuck's going on with my cat, man. She's like losing her mind. So I'm gonna, I mean, there's a series of tests that we're gonna do. Series of tests that we're gonna do. That's right.
I must go.
Sounds like she doesn't like elementals either, right? Oh my god. Ugh. Red cat melee.
Think so. Let me synthesize the facts.
I'm just, look, I'll be back. I need to deal with this. It's a little jerk. When we come back, we're gonna keep playing some Magic. Probably this deck. Hold on.